Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. The Honorable Vandana Mohit, Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services, along with a team from the ministry, including Senator Dr. Natalie Chaitan Maharaj, Parliamentary Secretary and Director of Aging, Ms. Kathleen Saka, visited 107-year-old Amanda Rees of St. Madeleine, who celebrated her birthday yesterday. That is such a wonderful and blessed age to reach. Minister Mohit presented Ms. Rees with a National Centenarian Medal of Honor. The ministry wishes Ms. Rees a happy and blessed birthday, and I wish her a blessed and wonderful belated birthday as well. You won't be disappointed with this one. Look and feel great every day. Painless trimming with no pulling of hair guaranteed. Comfortable to hold and lightweight. Intelligent anti-pinch system. Safety travel lock. Accurate and painless trimming. Durability 100% quality. Fast charging. To place an order, call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. The Honorable Vandana Mohit, Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services, recently delivered over $54,000 in sowing, entrepreneurial, empowering through development seed grants to recipients. Of course, that will assist those individuals in either starting up their own businesses or expanding. And once again, it shows that the Kamla Prasad administration is focused on rebuilding our economy and from the ground go up. The Kamla Prasad administration is also very focused on the security of all citizens. The administration is moving closer to introducing a policy that will allow communities to apply for gated status as a measure to protect their homes, themselves, and their families. On August 27th, 2025, the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard proudly celebrated its 63rd anniversary, a legacy built on dedication, resilience, and service to our nation. The ship's company was deeply honored to be addressed by Her Excellency Christine Kangaloo, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and Captain Don Polo, our esteemed commanding officer. Their words were inspired reflection on our proud history, and renewed our commitments to safeguarding our shores with courage and integrity. A dream come true. 10-year-old boy meets the Commissioner of Police. Meeting a Commissioner of Police has been a dream of 10-year-old Jadon Ordain. Today, Commissioner of Police Alistair, well, that was yesterday, Alistair Guevaro made that dream a reality when he invited Jadon to meet him at the Commissioner's Office, 6th floor, Police Administration Building, Port of Spain. Jadon was escorted from his home to the Commissioner's office in a police vehicle, making yet another of his dreams come true, being driven in a police vehicle. Under positive circumstances, people. During their one-on-one meeting this morning, Jadon showed his inquisitive side when he asked the Commissioner about his roles and responsibilities as the top cop and wished that he remained safe from harm as he carries out his duties. That's a brilliant young man for a child to be thinking in that sort of mature way. Jaden also told Commissioner Guevara that he aspired to be a police officer when he grows up. I wish that young man all the best and protection for himself and his family in Jesus' name. August sale, 25% off. No more overheating phones. Cool your phones in seconds. Prevents damage to phones and battery issues. Better gaming experience and streaming. USB powered and fast charging. Lightweight and quiet. Ideal for kids and adults. Works with all smartphones. Makes a great gift. Enjoy free island-wide delivery. Call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. On Thursday, 38 families from across Trinidad received the first installment of a two-part 7,500 housing grant from the Ministry of Housing. According to Line Minister David Lee, this initiative is set to positively impact the lives and living conditions of many citizens, offering much needed support towards safer and more comfortable homes. Once again, we have an administration in office now that cares about the citizens who exist in all different social classes here in Trinidad and Tobago. But Kamala Pasabi-Sessa has always shown a lot of compassion, especially for the poor class citizens. And this is why she's trying to empower them, give them the tools needed in order to better their lives. This is wonderful, people. Stabilizing the agriculture market, reducing the food import bill, and exploring alternative uses for their produce are some of the key proposals for farmers and the agriculture sector by the Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, Ravi Ratiram. The minister believes this will ultimately increase agriculture's contribution to the national GDP. And of course, it will mean that the government, the Ministry of Agriculture, is going to need to do their part in investing in these farmers and ensuring that they are covered even in times when it has natural disasters and so forth, that you can be able to assist them financially to be able to get back on their feet. Now for some news from Guyana. Last evening, as Guyana achieved another milestone with the joining of the final section of the new Demerara River Bridge, President Dr. Irfan Ali also outlined what Guyanese could expect in the coming years through the plans and initiatives of the political party he leads, the PPP Civic. And that, of course, is the political party that I'm hoping will win the general and regional elections in the next few days. Video footage for this particular report was provided by Guyana Chronicle.
So the first thing I want to put your heart at ease, that crane that you see there, it's more than 700 tons. The crawlers that brought on all of the girders fetches about 160 tons. So anybody have any concern about if this bridge could take 100 tons, 200 tons, 500 tons, it is proven. In the section where we have the cable stay, there is a methodology which I've gone through with the engineers because I've been assuring the nation at every stage, whatever is required for testing. The materials that were used in this bridge was tested in the factories. The concrete, the mixed design, everything had to be tested. When you talk about the load testing, my understanding is that there will be 16 trucks, 16 trucks, each weighing 15 tons, that will be put at particular sections. A computer will be hooked up, and in a 24 to 48 hour period, there are certain readings that will be taken to talk about the movement of the cables and all the rest of it to ensure that everything is aligned in keeping with the design standard. And that's all.
The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, in collaboration with the Guyana Association of Professional Social Workers and the University of Guyana, officially launched the Paraprofessional Social Services Program on Tuesday at the Arthur Chung Conference Center. Development throughout in every sector of society. And this is something that is not only taking place because it's election season. Irfaan Ali administration has been performing in this same manner throughout their term in office. At just 27 years old, Gabrielle McKenzie is already a powerful voice for health and disability rights in Guyana. Now the young advocate from Annandale, East Coast, Demerara, is preparing to take her mission to the global stage as one of 8 Guyanese selected for the prestigious Chevening Scholarship. I wish her all the best and all the safety and success in Jesus' name. President Dr. Irfaan Ali has revealed plans to rapidly expand Guyana's tourism sector through the development. This is what they call diversification, people. But let me get back to the news. Has plans to rapidly expand Guyana's tourism sector through the development of all-inclusive resorts at some of the country's most iconic destinations. Speaking at the commissioning of the new courtyard by Marriott in Timehri on Wednesday, he announced that within the first 6 weeks of a new term, should the People's Party Civic be re-elected, expressions of interest will be issued for resort development at key locations across the country. That's the PPP party, led by the Irfaan Ali administration, that I am hoping wins the elections in just for a few days again, not long, very soon. Minister of Home Affairs, Robeson Ben, on Thursday commissioned 4 significant security infrastructure projects in Police Regional Division 4A, aimed at strengthening law enforcement capacity, enhancing community safety, and supporting modern policing operations. Through the government of Guyana and the Ministry of Home Affairs, by the end of 2025, more than 2 billion Guyanese dollars would have been expended on completed projects with the Regional Division 4A, with 38 projects already completed and several others still ongoing at this point in time. These investments form a part of a wider security modernization program aimed at improving facilities, strengthening operations, and enhancing public trust in policing. But people of Guyana, if you want to see this progress continuing, then you need to make the right choice on election day. Vote for Irfaan Ali. Some news from Jamaica. Mayor of Portmore, Leon Thomas, has hailed the commissioning of new traffic lights at the busy intersection of George D. Boulevard and Augusta Drive as a life-saving development for motorists and pedestrians who traverse the corridor daily. The traffic signals installed by crews from the National Works Agency at a cost of 20 million Jamaican dollars and funded by West Indies home contractors were officially switched on during a ceremony on Wednesday. Now, of course, yes, lights, good roads, all that, and proper barricades and stuff like that, very important in order to save lives. But most importantly, we need to ensure that drivers observe the speed limit. And in my opinion, I keep saying this over and over again, even right here in Trinidad and Tobago, we need to mandate that all vehicles, they must have speed limiters installed in them before it can pass inspection. It's very important, people. That's the only way to ensure that the vast majority of the population, whether it's in Trinidad, Guyana, Jamaica, throughout the Caribbean, and even in America and throughout the world, that's the only way to ensure that individuals observe the speed limit. Now for some international travel news. Canada's oldest hiking trail is a natural wonder. Niagara Falls is only one of hundreds of waterfalls along the 560-mile-long Bruce Trail, which guides adventurers through big cities, small towns, and stunning wilderness. While Niagara Falls is easily the most famous geological feature along the escarpment's many steep rock faces and promontories for many avid hikers, the touristry natural wonder is merely the starting point for a 560-mile trek through southern Ontario, from the Canada-US border to the rugged Bruce Peninsula, which juts out into Lake Huron. Sneaking around the edges of some of the most densely populated regions of Canada before heading north into coniferous forests, Carolinian forests, meadows, and wetlands. I haven't heard that word coniferous in many years when I studied geography back in the late 90s, early 2000s, coniferous forest. The trail sometimes cuts through cute rural towns. The hike along the Bruce Trail is an expedition that can include major art museums and artisanal ice cream, as well as intimate encounters with nature. Niagara Falls might be on postcards, but the trail offers an estimated 500 more waterfalls along the way. So people, it's a wonderful adventure. At points, the escarpment ridge reaches heights of more than 1,000 feet, 335 meters. I'm very sure that most likely a lot, if not all, of my family members in Canada probably traveled that entire trail and experienced that wonderful adventure at some point in time, because they have been across in Canada there for decades now. The centerpiece of UK's Lake District National Park, Lake Windermere, has been attracting travelers since the Napoleonic Wars. Sail its waters, explore grand houses, and discover an idyllic setting that inspired the likes of William Wordsworth, Beatrix Potter, and Arthur Ransom. Today, the east shore towns of Windermere and Ambleside, with their cafe terraces and upmarket shops, still attract nature lovers, with high fell walking trails accessible on foot from many back doors. Meanwhile, small marinas and public jetties provide launch pads for exploration by water. And these are the types of areas I would love to visit if I ever get the opportunity to visit places like UK and Canada. And once again, I want to start right here in the Caribbean, Grenada, Jamaica, and Guyana, definitely. If God tarries and I am provided with the funding to be able to do so, these are the type of adventures I would like to experience. Czechoslovakian wolf dogs are becoming a popular furry companion worldwide. Carrying DNA from German Shepherds and Eurasian wolves, these hybrids were originally bred as war dogs. Today, they are just one of many varieties of wolf dog hybrids increasingly marketed worldwide as pets. However, with maximum weights that rival Great Danes and personalities sometimes more wolf than dog, wolf dog hybrids can be demanding. So, of course, make sure that you do your research before you decide to have one of them as a pet. Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news headlines. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.